Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're here to talk about Catholics in space!
As our summer of space continues.
This time with someone a little closer to home, but still a Jesuit.
Jesuits are pretty far out. So, who we got today?
Today we have Johann, or as it would be said in English, John, Georg Hagen SJ.
He was born on March the 6th, 1847 in Bregenz, Austria, which is why he has a German name.
I should clarify. You wouldn't call them John to their face. It's
Well,
just the equivalent. You would?
You probably would, depending on... In his story, he's
He's
in the English-speaking world quite a lot.
We'll continue
We'll find out later.
I'll find out.
And then he died on the 6th of September in 1930 in Rome, Italy.
He was a Jesuit priest, an astronomer, a spiritual director and spiritual director of Saint Maria Elizabeth Hasselblad.
Great name. He studied mathematics and astronomy at the universities of Bonn and Munster, as well as attending Stella Matutina, the Jesuit college in Austria.
Mm.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Then Otto von Bismarck...
Boo!
expelled the Jesuits, and he moved to England, and that's where he was ordained. So although he went to the Jesuit college there, he finished up his education in England.
Mm-hmm. And then in 1880, he moved to the United States, teaching at Sacred Heart College in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin.
So, up there,
Okay,
I'm sure they called him John around a pint.
Yeah.
And a brick of cheese.
That's when Johann Georg Hagen became Johann Georg Hagen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There in Wisconsin, he built a small observatory and became a U.S. citizen.
And ate much cheese.
Of course, he's in Wisconsin.
That's a given.
It's a given.
I like to reference cheese.
I know.
If you want to be properly Wisconsinite, you have to sweat cheese.
I mean, my one friend who occasionally makes fun of, the caucasity of things I do, she was going to a cousin's funeral, and I'm like, yes, but maybe there'll be condolence cheese. And then I had to explain what condolence cheese was, because,
Well, from where I sit, pretty much all cheese is condolence cheese. It's always consoling.
He then was made the director of the Georgetown University Observatory.
And then, in 1906, Pope Pius X put him in charge of the Vatican Observatory, called up to the big leagues.
Mm-hmm. Which is how he ended up in Rome after
Rome.
moving to America and becoming a citizen.
Mm-hmm. There's a crater on the moon named Hagen after him.
And there's also an asteroid, 562971, Johann Hagen. Because asteroids have names like that.
Yeah. Yes, it appears to be the exact number of the asteroid, and then essentially their popular name.
Yeah, because it's one series, like 2 Vesta, and then after that they get wild.
Yep.
And also the Rothe-Hagen identity in mathematics is named after him and was published in his Synopsis of Higher Mathematics.
We will now accept no further questions about the Rothe-Hagen identity.
No.
None.
No.
None of us are high-level mathematicians.
No.
Nate's quite good at numbers, but none of us are high-level.
No. I'm not familiar with that identity.
And for school, I just needed the basic level math as it was. I went to an extra year in high school of math because I got bumped up to algebra in junior high. So I could solve for X under certain conditions of it's easy to find X.
Yeah. Oh, also important to note that at the time, there's an observatory in Georgetown, there's an observatory in the Vatican. It wasn't until relatively recently that we started doing the whole remote mountaintop observatory.
Yes.
Yeah, putting them on top of volcanoes in Hawaii or top of mountains in the Andes. That's a very last 70 years thing. So lots of the early observatories are in very cloudy places like England and Georgetown.
I imagine
the middle of Rome.
Because we've had better technology to get things up there.
Yeah, there's many reasons, and we've understood the importance of, eliminating the light pollution and
Yes, and we've had more light pollutions because back in the pre-electricity days. Once it got dark, it was dark. You got, candles and stuff, but there's...
Yeah, we have much more light pollution now. Yes, absolutely.
But anyway, that is another...
Catholic in space!
This time one with super American connections.
And it's cool when you get stuff named after you. I mean, an asteroid, great. A crater on the moon, that's boss.
A mathematical thing that I'm sure is important for mathematical people.
Totally important. You have to have your identity, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I understand.
No. At the point at which they start throwing in imaginary, I'm like, I'm at my upper limits here.
So, comment below with other Catholics that you know have a connection to space, or what you found most exciting in the story of Johann Georg Hagen, also known as John George.
And
stay tuned next time when we discuss Ringo Paul. We will not discuss
Ringo Paul, Paul George, and Ringo and Ringo John and Ringo John.
So like this episode, subscribe to our channel. And until next time,
remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.